Let's get an update on the situation regarding the ownership of Manchester United. Chief reporter Kaveh Solokul joins us on set now. I feel like we've gone through every season that we've discussed this. Where are we at with it now then?
Look, as far as Qatar is concerned, he still wants to buy Manchester United. He's still committed to his bid. He put in this final bid 11 weeks ago. It's worth around £5 billion. Waiting to find out what's going to happen next. Do the Glazers actually want to sell United? Because if they want to sell United, then he is ready to go. He wants United. But I think what is holding up the takeover is valuation of the club. Glazers are asking more than the Qataris, also Jim Ratcliffe, are willing to offer. And the Glazers have to decide. One way or the other, they've got to come out and say, yes, we've agreed to sell the club, or yes, we've agreed to sell a minority stake, or yes, we've agreed to borrow some more money to redevelop Old Trafford. There's got to be some kind of clarity sometime soon. Now, we do get reports pretty regularly saying, for instance, that the Qataris are close to buying Manchester United. Also, Jim Ratcliffe is close to buying Manchester United. I think obviously that would be great news for supporters, and it would be great news for a lot of people inside Manchester United. But the leading bidders at the moment are saying the situation hasn't changed. We still want United, but we haven't been told that we're the preferred bidder or we're in exclusive talks. We haven't got to that stage yet.
Just wonder, when are we going to get to that stage? But it's so much uncertainty. How is this whole situation affecting, players, staff, everyone at the club?
Look, I think outside, supporters want clarity as soon as possible. And I think that's the same inside the club as well, because this process started last November. Yeah. It's been hanging over the club. And just like supporters want clarity, people inside the club want clarity as well.
After years of speculation, frustration and mounting pressure from supporters, a dramatic new chapter is reportedly about to begin for Manchester United. According to a trusted insider, the long-awaited takeover of the club has finally been completed, bringing an end to the controversial reign of the Glazer family. While the official announcement is still pending, sources claim that the deal has already been finalised behind closed doors. If confirmed, it would mark one of the most significant moments in the modern history of the club and could completely reshape the future of the team at Old Trafford. For nearly 2 decades, the Glazer family has owned Manchester United. Their takeover in 2005 was controversial from the start, largely because it placed heavy debt on the club. Over the years, supporters frequently protested against their ownership, criticising financial decisions, stadium infrastructure issues, and what many believed was a lack of long-term sporting vision. Fan movements such as the famous Glazers Out protests became a regular sight around Old Trafford. Large demonstrations, banners and chants highlighted the deep frustration among supporters who felt the club had fallen behind its rivals both on and off the pitch. If the reports are accurate, this sale represents the conclusion of a turbulent period in the club's history and potentially a more ambitious future. A massive financial boost. One of the biggest talking points surrounding the reported takeover is the promise of a major financial injection. Sources close to the deal suggest that the incoming ownership group plans to invest heavily in several key areas: squad rebuilding and marquee transfers, upgrading Old Trafford and training facilities, expanding the club's global commercial reach, and strengthening football operations and recruitment. Manchester United remains one of the biggest clubs in world football, but many analysts believe the team has lacked the consistent investment needed to compete with the elite in recent years. A fresh influx of capital could change that dramatically. Fans are already dreaming about the possibility of major signings in the upcoming transfer windows. What this means for Ruben Amorim? Another key question surrounding the takeover is the future of manager Ruben Amorim. The Portuguese coach has been seen by many as part of a long-term rebuild project at the club. New ownership often brings new ideas and sometimes new leadership. However, insiders suggest that Amorim could actually benefit from the transition. If the new owners are committed to a modern football structure, his tactical approach and emphasis on youth development may align perfectly with their vision. With stronger backing in the transfer market, Amorim could finally get the players needed to fully implement his style of play. Transfer window could explode. If the deal is officially confirmed soon, Manchester United's upcoming transfer strategy could become one of the most aggressive in Europe. Supporters are already speculating about potential targets across several positions, including a world-class striker, a dominant central midfielder, defensive reinforcements, and young emerging talents for the future. A new ownership group eager to make an immediate impact could trigger a dramatic summer transfer window. A new future for the Theatre of Dreams. For many fans, the most exciting aspect of the takeover is the possibility of restoring Manchester United to its former glory. Under legendary manager Alex Ferguson, the club dominated English football and became a global powerhouse. Since his retirement in 2013, however, the team has struggled to maintain that same level of success. Multiple managerial changes, inconsistent recruitment, and strategic uncertainty have all contributed to a difficult decade. Now, with new leadership potentially stepping in, supporters believe the famous stadium known as the Theatre of Dreams could finally witness a revival. Official announcement could be imminent. While insiders insist the deal is already sealed, the football world is still waiting for an official confirmation. Once the announcement arrives, it could trigger a wave of reactions from fans, analysts, and players alike. One thing is clear: if the reports are true, Manchester United is about to enter one of the most transformative periods in its modern history. The Glazer era may be ending, and a bold new chapter at Old Trafford could just be beginning.